An indie wrestling company is hired to entertain a small white trash town in the middle of nowhere. What could possibly go wrong? If you answered a blood-offering demonic ritual, you'd be right. There is no kayfabe, no tap-outs, and the heels have to find a way to kick out of this hellish finisher, as the booker is becoming a Judas in his mind in Dark Match. Hello there, you loose innocents, and welcome back to another episode of Spicy Boy Reviews. I'm, of course, your host, Andrew Iles. That's right, Shudder original Dark Match, written and directed by Lowell Dean, who's known for directing 13 Eerie, Wolf Cop, and Super Grid, just to name a few. The year is 1988, and we meet small indie wrestling company known as SAW. Clever. We meet our two main players, both heels, Mean Jolene and Misbehave, who just so happen to be friends with benefits beyond the mat. They spend their nights taking bumps in the ring, playing along with kayfabe, and of course letting the baby faces win. But Misbehave is having none of it! She feels her time with the championship belt is long overdue. And just because she doesn't look like the cookie-cutter 80s champion, believes that she is hard done by. Then all of a sudden, sleazy booker slash manager slash ring announcer Rusty receives a call from a shady booker who wants to book the SAW talent for an uber private event in the middle of nowhere, which of course could only go well. They offer him a shit ton of money, so of course Rusty says yes. So the talent all bundle into a van and the road trip to Hicksville begins. Upon arrival, the local crackers roll out the whiskey-stained red carpet and dish out for the wrestlers a night of rock and roll, copious amounts of coke, all the alcohol that they can stomach, and of course, sexy times. Then Mean Jolene discovers that this whole soiree is put on by his old in-ring rival, the Prophet. All these backwater hicks are celebrating what they call lubricalia, and there is culty symbols plastered everywhere. Peculiar? Perhaps, but don't worry about all that. Here, have a neon green alcoholic shot. All the while, Misbehave is having dark visions played in her head, all being filmed in lo-fi 80s VHS that are both disturbing and violent. And she wonders, are these dreams or premonitions? The next day, the show must go on and the card is laid out. The event will run in the theme of the elements. Match 1 being a wind match. Match 2 being a water match. Match 3 is an earth match. And match number 4 is an inferno match. And of course, match 5 will be a Lilu match. No, I'm sorry. I mean a spirit match. If I was an inquisitive person, I'd say that this whole wrestling card is some sort of ritual to summon, you guessed it, Captain Planet. The event begins, and it's not long before the two wrestlers in the first match realise that they are lambs to the slaughter. Simultaneously, Misbehave starts to realise that something is not quite right. The back of house, a packing arsenal, talent begins to go missing, and this event is scheduled to be a dark match. However, there are cameras hidden all over the place filming this event. But for who? The penny then drops. Then the three of Mean Jolene, Misbehave, along with mute luchador Enigma Jones, have to fight to survive and find a way to escape. This is, as aforementioned, a Shudder original, which can be a red flag for quality at times, much the same warning signs provoked by a Blumhouse film, but I will say this film actually surprised me. It's obviously super low budget, yet the filmmakers use that to their advantage. It's really nicely shot with a lot of the shortcomings being hidden in shadows and darkness, and it does that low budget horror thing that I absolutely love, making it a neon bukkake party. There is very little gore in the film, I will say, but they do use blood splatter when needed. And I've got to say, the acting all around is pretty good. Everyone is playing it pretty straight, which actually helps the film. No one really goes into super self-aware territory. Our lead here, Aisha Issa, is solid and looks like she can really handle herself in the ring quite well. But I gotta say, my absolute favourite in this film is Stephen Ogg's character. He's a magnificent character actor who never dulls in a performance. And here he gets a chance to be really heroic and charismatic. He's a very awesome and interesting actor, not only his talent but also visually. I put him in the category of the solid character actors who are always really good and are constantly working because they always deliver a solid performance. You know, the character actors like Walton Goggins, Richard Brake and Clancy Brown. And yes, of course, the big bad, the Prophet, is played by professional wrestler, rock star and horror fan himself, Chris Jericho. And it's clear in this film that he's having a banger of a good time, eating up all the scenery like it's Hubba Bubba bubblegum. And he's really relishing in the B-grade greatness of this film. I'll be honest, I had a really good time watching this. It's horror, it's wrestling, it's neon lights everywhere. And of course the runtime is an hour and a half, which as you know is absolute perfection. This is low budget video nasty awesomeness. But yeah guys, I do recommend it. It's on streaming right now. Anyway guys, that's my cheeky little review of Dark Match. Write down below if you've seen it, what are your thoughts on it, but more importantly, what is your favourite wrestling themed movie? And of course, if you made it this far into the episode, please give me a thumbs up because your love and support keeps me going, because I just love movies and I assume you do as well. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe icon because I give it an episode weekly. And I'll see you back here next week for the next review, but until then, stay spooky kids.